What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video. I'm your boy Zawoki, and thank you very much for taking time to watch this video, since a lot of discrepancy is going on in this topic of who's going to go with Xbox, who's going to go with PlayStation 5, or I should say Xbox Series X. I'm definitely leaning towards the Xbox Series X because I've had nothing but pretty much Xbox since day one. Besides Sega Genesis and Nintendo's, I've pretty much had Xbox in my hands, controller, whatever have you. PS5 I've definitely bought in before, or not PS5, I bought in PS or PlayStation because of their exclusives, which definitely they do have, but I'm always leaning towards the Xbox. But right now we're going to be taking a look at both sides right now of what there's going to be inside the boxes or consoles, they're going to be beneficial for each one. Well, you kind of already know this because you're probably watching other videos, but on Zawoki's channel, I give you guys reviews and things that come up. So guys, grab a chair, grab some popcorn as we take a look at all this information with the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. So guys, starting off, make sure you guys, if you guys have not subscribed to the Zawoki channel, make sure you guys are doing so. All you guys got to do is hit that little red bar icon down below on this side of the video. Hit the bell icon next to it as well, so you guys never miss a video when I do post. And also, I do stream live on Twitch pretty much every single day after 7:30. And make sure to follow my social medias on Facebook and Twitter, because I definitely post things on there about possible videos that come up and certain things that is on the channel. So make sure you guys are doing that as well. So without further ado, we're going to be taking a look at the stats right here, right now. Also, we're going to be looking at what's inside the Xbox itself, what is housed in this big, huge, squarish box. We've always had the flat-looking Xbox. We haven't had really one that you could stand. Well, you could stand up the other ones, but it's more of a hassle and kind of a scariness where it would fall over. PlayStation did release their information about their console as well. I mean, this is pretty much at a drag strip right now. Drag strip, not whip. Where you have two cars that next to each other. One is going to outperform the other one. And right now it looks like with these stats that we're looking at is Xbox is gliding right on by. Not far ahead, but it is definitely pretty much the most powerful console. If you guys disagree, definitely let me know in the comments. If you guys are Team Xbox or Team PlayStation, I would definitely love to know you guys' info. And if you guys are Team Xbox, make sure you guys put your little gamer tags down below. I would sure love to play games with you on live stream or just in general, playing Fortnite, Modern Warfare, whatever have you. I love to play with my viewers. So make sure you guys are putting team, whatever you are, and make sure you guys put your gamer tag, because PlayStation, I'm sorry, I can't play with you unless the game is cross-platform like Modern Warfare and Fortnite. With that being said, let's take a look at the video of what is actually inside the Xbox. I would love to say that I have an Xbox here. We're going to show you what it looks like, but we're going to show you guys what it looks like here with my kind of commentary in the background of what we are seeing. So let's pop that image up right here. This is the Xbox where you guys are going to be able to put it on your side or stand it up. I'm probably myself going to actually stand this one up this time because it is technically designed for that. You can put it down. I'm a little worried though that this is not going to fit certain people's entertainment centers, because a lot of entertainment centers are made for DVD, Blu-ray, sound systems that go into certain slots on the entertainment center. And this is definitely, I wouldn't say a weird object, but it's a lot bigger and thicker than you would normally see. If you do look on the right side of the Xbox, you can see some indent tabs on the left and back, or the top left or top right and bottom right. You can pretty much put this on that side, which is definitely kind of a nice little gesture that they put those on there just to get a little off the place that you're setting it on. But like I said, I'm going to be standing this one up. It does have a little circle tray, or not circle tray, but circle base that it's going to be able to be lifted up on, because this is where its actual intake fan is at the bottom, and then it exhausts the fan, or exhausts the heat above. And we'll definitely get into what the secret is of the top that we saw, that green light. So without further ado, we're going to take a look at this. This is what's actually inside it. So you actually have the fan, the heat sink, pretty much everything that's inside this Xbox has been carefully designed to fit perfectly in this box. And the fan is a 130 millimeter fan, which is got pretty much almost to a T of a cone to make it so it's pushed out properly and fast as possible to make sure that your Xbox is performing at its most professional and extremist, or not extremist, but extreme, I don't even know how the words here, extreme gameplay. Looking down at the bottom, you can see that it's pretty much designed for speed and performance. It is completely fast with an internal SSD, 1 terabyte of SSD and CPU. I mean, this is ridiculous. The CPU and GPU, if you guys did not know, if you guys are PC people, or if you guys don't know entirely what's inside your console, the CPU and the GPU are actually one. They're together. Usually in a PC, you would have the CPU and the GPU completely separate, but this is where they actually designed it in the middle, and then they have all these different memories that are around it, just creating this ultimate power system. But having an SSD in a system is going to make your times reload or your gameplay faster, which is your loading in screens and stuff like that. They're going to be pretty much cut in half, if not more. So you're going to be playing a lot more, and then you don't have to sit there and wait for loading screens and time when you guys could be actually gameplaying to its full potential. Then here's the video that we're going to be looking at right now. This is the actual video that's on the website. I'll definitely link this down below of what you guys can see, but I wanted to bring it to you guys so you guys don't have to sit there and hunt for these videos. But this is actually an Xbox One X that I have right now compared to an Xbox Series X loading screen. It's ridiculously amazing on how fast this is compared. It's going to work here. Technical difficulties. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we reload it. Here we go. No full screen. So they're playing the exact same game, but look how the Xbox Series X reloads the screen so much faster. I mean, yes, a lot of people are not going to care about this, but if you're a streamer, if you're a big pro gamer, or just a gamer in general, and you hate waiting for those load screens, I mean, this guy's still playing and the other person is still loading in. For me, this is a big game changer because when I stream every single day, and a lot of people are not going to want to sit there and watch load times and so forth like that. I mean, look at how he's still playing, and yet the Xbox One X is still loading. And it's not like this is or pretty much paused, where it's like we're trying to just enhance it. She's just now playing this game. He's been playing for almost a minute already. That's ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't mean much, like I said before, it doesn't mean a lot to maybe kids or teenagers, but like myself, I want that extra performance, the extra speed. I want that. Like I said in every single video when I do talk about Xbox, the most powerful console ever. I do have friends on both sides. Well, pretty much the spectrum of gaming. I have people on PC, I have people on Xbox, I have people on PlayStation. And I've always said that PlayStation or Xbox is the better of the two consoles. But definitely computer does outweigh consoles when it comes to performance, because they can just put that envelope to the max. There's not rumors, but Xbox is able to do ray tracing, RTX, where you can see different shadows, more clearer pictures and so forth like that, with reflections and stuff like that. But I have not heard anything still to this day for PlayStation having ray tracing. So let me know down in the comments if you guys know if PlayStation Guarantee has ray tracing, but I know for a fact that Xbox themselves have ray tracing. It doesn't seem like much, but when you're in the game and you're seeing all this stuff, you want to be immersed into this game. You want to feel like you're there, like the game or pretty much the Series X trailer says. You want to be able to dream anytime you're able to dream, but you want to have that control over this dream, and this console does that, where you can play whatever you want, pretty much to your dreams' desires. So moving on, we're going to be talking about a lot of these stats here and so forth like that when we compare it with the PlayStation. And I'm not necessarily degrading PlayStation. PlayStation is definitely a great system. They are great with their exclusives. I love Horizon Till Dawn, Spider-Man, the God of War. They have definitely a lot of good, amazing games, but I just think that Xbox has that one notch above them when it comes to backwards compatibility. Yes, PlayStation does, but it's not like Xbox's backwards compatibility. Xbox has Game Pass. I don't necessarily know right off the bat if PlayStation has that capability where you're able to pay monthly and be able to have access to pretty much hundreds of games. I think they're up to 130 games at the moment, where you can just play them and just pay a monthly subscription of pretty much $9.99 a month. So it definitely outweighs the PlayStation. But like I said before, I'm not necessarily degrading PlayStation, but PlayStation does have their pros, but they also have a lot of cons compared to the Xbox Series X or Xbox entirely at this moment. So this is what it looks like for the actual image of the internals of when it's actually being powered on and where it's sucking the air and where it's exhausting the air. It has that little dome on the, or not the dome on the bottom, it has the base on the bottom where it's able to suck all that air in to cool your computer, your Xbox Series X to its full cooling performance, so you can get that extra edge and not have any problems with maybe lag or just having some issues. Because I've definitely noticed if you cover up your exhaust or your exhaust and intake, you're definitely going to see somewhat of a performance issue because the CPU cannot get that hot, and you'll definitely start seeing the notice. But like this, I love how they have that funnel coned 130 millimeter fan that just exhausts it out as fast as possible. The only bummer I was kind of worried about and kind of upset about was that the actual green middle part that we saw in the videos is not an actual light. It's actually an optical illusion. We'll take a look at it. It's kind of cool that it's an optical illusion, so you're not using more power somewhere where you don't need it, but I could definitely see a lot of people modding this system when it comes out, and somebody putting a 130 millimeter RGB fan in there for all I know, or probably liquid cooling this. I'm surprised still to this day they have not done any possible AIO or liquid cooling. Yes, it would definitely make things a little bit more scared, because AIOs can definitely leak, causing your system to go into complete catastrophic fail, because if it gets linear liquid on there, it's definitely not going to work anymore. But I definitely think that having AIOs, which is an all-in-one cooler system that pretty much uses liquid to cool the system, I definitely think that would benefit these consoles in the future. But stepping stones will possibly get there in the future. But they're making strides as it is now, and these systems are completely advanced from where we were originally playing Pong with two paddles on both sides and just going back and forth. So it's a split motherboard, so it's not necessarily the all-in-one, but it's actually cooled with a heatsink in the middle to give optimal performance. I'm kind of liking this idea that they actually split the motherboard technically in half, where one's on the front and one's on the back. It's definitely interesting, because if you look at some of the Xboxes in the past, it's just the one motherboard, but it's kind of interesting that they went ahead and did this, kind of like this. So it's definitely pretty cool. The reason why they did this too, it's just temperature control. So it's not all in one location where all the temperature is. It's going to be diverse and spread out between the heat sink and so forth like that, and the heat shroud and so forth. I just think this is a better way of doing this, and I'm kind of excited to see the performance when I get hands-on, to be exact. So like I was talking about, the heatsink chassis, here it is. You see the motherboards on both sides. Here's the front one with the CPU and the GPU, and then you see the other one on the back. This heatsink is huge, for one. It's definitely going to be a must to disperse and displace the heat wherever it goes. I just think this looks dope. They're showing the internals. They're showing off what's under the hood, and I like that they're doing this. Then moving on, here's the vapor chamber that actually will sit on top of the CPU and the GPU. This is where actually more heat is going to be displaced. Technically, when you see those CPUs covered by some type of fan or heatsink that's like double thick, this is what this is actually looking like. It doesn't have a fan necessarily right on top, like some Xboxes have had in the past. I think there was one Xbox, I think it was the Xbox 360. That's where it started having problems overheating and actually causing the red ring of virus, or red ring of death. But this heatsink is definitely a must It's going to have thermal paste on there, and you can actually see where the chip is going to sit and lie to be able to perform. Here's that whisper quiet fan. I did watch a video on the fan entirely itself. You barely could very much, or very minimalistic, not be able to hear this fan at all. Maybe when it was under load, when they were starting to like put a whole bunch of games on there, but I couldn't hear anything, to be honest. So it's super quiet, super cooling. It's got that where it's shooting it out with those the vents and stuff like that. And even if you place something on top accidentally, it does have spots on the sides where it's still going to get, actually in the holes, it's still going to try to vent as much as possible until you pretty much realize that the Xbox is overheating or is having heating problems. But they're just thinking above the next step into making sure this Xbox is the perfect box in your home as the pretty much the main focus of your entertainment. So I definitely am very much excited for them to take the time to do this. So, like I said before, this light, or what we thought was a light, is an optical illusion. So pretty much this pretty much all these holes right here is going to be slanted in as a dip, where you can pretty much, it's not completely flat, which is kind of cool. But these green parts is actually part of the whole system, where when you look at it a certain way, the green is actually underneath this whole fan area. It just gives it the look that it's on, but it's not on. It's super cool that they had that idea. I'm definitely excited that they did this. It just gives that one little one up on the competition. I just like that. I think what they should do is make the possibility of being able to change your circle at will with the light. I definitely think it would be definitely cool as a customization thing where you could change that as like an RGB kind of thing. I mean, it would be cool to have that green, or, I mean, yes, it's cool to have it white because it's just plain and normal and you know it's on. But I just think that would be kind of one cool thing that they would add to the RGB-ness and just add a different color light on the background. But with that being said, I could not believe that technically it's not a, all it is, it's an expansion chip / card. So you're going to be able to use your external hard drives to an extent. I've noticed that Western Digital is going to be up on their stuff when it comes to external hard drives, that it's going to work with the Xbox Series X. I don't necessarily know about the one that I have. The one that I have is the Xbox external 4TB hard drive. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't work. But even to make your games even more faster, screw the HHD or the regular expansion or external hard drives. They're going with a 1TB SSD that you're able to purchase separately. It's not going to come with the system. You're able to have chips, cards, where your games are going to be able to be plugged in on the back. I mean, this is cool, but at the same time, this is like the 90s versions where you were able to put your cards like in the GameCube or the old Xbox, or when you were able to put memory cards in the controllers for like Nintendo or something like that. This is where it just reminds me of that. I see this being cool as beneficial because if you have multiples, I mean, if you're going to fill up a 1TB hard drive or 1TB SSD, that's a lot. I mean, if you are a digital person where you like your digital content and you don't like using discs, you're going to probably have multiple of these. I have a 5TB Xbox, pretty much with the 1TB that's inside and then a 4 on the outside for the external. I'm only using 2 external hard drives, or like 2 terabytes, and I'm only having probably about 50 to 60 games, and probably half of them are digital. So, I mean, if you are a person that loves your digital content and you have movies on there, you have games on there, definitely having more expansions is definitely going to be needed. But I just think it's kind of a cool idea to have this SSD plug in the back. But at the same time, it's kind of like, this is back in the 90s and the 2000s. But, I mean, it's interesting. But moving on, also, there is a kind of, I would say, Easter egg. But there is a video that does show this. I will definitely link it in the description down below. But if you look on top of the fan, right, I think it's right above here where my mouse is, or my mouse is not even showing up. Hello, mouse. Yeah, it's not even showing up. the mouse, or where you see the exhaust fan on the top on the left side, they actually have snuck in an Easter egg of Master Chief's helmet inside the fan, which is, they've done this on every single pretty much console. It's just a cool gimmick that they put in these systems for Xbox, but Master Chief is inside your Xbox. He's just secretly hiding behind the walls and on your fan. So with that being said, we're going to be actually looking at the comparison of what is inside the box, more of a wording rather than pictures and pop-ups and stuff like that. This is what we're looking at right now. I've highlighted Xbox, obviously in green, PlayStation with blue, but then I've highlighted the pretty much the one-ups that the systems have, and obviously you have not seen that PlayStation does not have any of these one-ups. Pretty much you're running with an 8 Zen 2 core at 3.8 gigahertz, where yes, we have the same thing when it comes to PlayStation, but for some reason they're only running at 3.5 gigahertz. Not quite sure why that is. Why can't they just go up 0.3? But it's definitely interesting. The GPU in the Xbox Series X is running at 12 teraflops with 52 CUs, which is going to be making your gameplay unstoppably amazing and looking beautiful, where the PlayStation is only sitting at 10.28 teraflops. Why can't you go up 2? I don't get it. And there's another spot. I just don't know why they didn't go up even more. So, we're gonna skip the die size and the process. We're gonna be going right to the memory, which is pretty much your RAM sticks or your memory that's gonna be in there. For Xbox, it's gonna be 16 gigabytes of GDDR6, which is pretty much 300-bit. But then PlayStation is only at 256-bit. Why? They're just they're right there, but they just won't get up there. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. And then you have your memory bandwidth, which I've obviously talked about already. The internal storage we've already talked about as well. Pretty much the internal of the 1 terabyte that's going to be in the system right off the bat. I see them going to be expanding this, or possibly doing a 500 terabyte or 500 gigabyte, because not a lot of people have the time to game or so forth like that, or buy a lot of games. So they're going to be making smaller capacity storages for people that don't need all that. But with today's society and today's gaming, a lot of games are going digital. A lot of movies are going digital. So why not have that extra space in your guys' Xboxes and systems? And 1 terabyte is definitely going to be enough to start off the bat with exclusives and so forth like that. But like my external, I have all my games on the external, and then pretty much my internal is pretty much like, I don't even know if pretty much just the admin and all that stuff, and the important stuff that to sign in and stuff like that. But pretty much everything is on my external hard drive and in the cloud. So if I ever need that to back up, I definitely have that. But then for some reason, like looking at the internal, we have the Xbox having 1 terabyte. But then for some reason, PlayStation was like, nope, we're just going to go 825. Why not do the extra 175 and do a terabyte? Why? I don't get it. My brother was kind of wondering that too. Why did they just stop at 825? I'm not quite sure, but that's what we're sitting at. The AIO is right down below it, and obviously it's sitting at 2.4 with a 4.8 gigabytes. And then below that, we have the expandable storage that we were talking about, which was the 1 terabyte expansion card. But then obviously PlayStation does have that, I wouldn't say one up, but you're able to plug in a SSD card at your whatever you would like. I mean, you could put a 250 in there, you could put a 500 in there, you could put a 1 terabyte in there. I wouldn't say this is necessarily a one-up over Xbox, because Xbox has a chip or a card where you're going to have to get a PlayStation 5 SSD that's probably licensed by them or completely off books and plug that in separately. So I just thought to myself, not being completely biased, which I do love Xbox, but Xbox has that one up because it's already have the 1 terabyte expandable card. External storage is the USB 3.2. I don't know why I didn't highlight this. It's USB 3.2, which is pretty much the one up of the USB. For some reason, PlayStation doesn't one up that, and it just has the regular USB HDD or DD support, not HDR. And then obviously both systems are going to be able to watch your beautiful videos at 4K UHD, which is ultra high definition. Blu-ray drive, so you're going to be able to watch your videos at optical. Holy crap, I can't talk. It's probably all this energy drinks I've been drinking. But it's going to be able to watch those. So if you're watching Avengers Endgame, which is the best movie ever, you're going to be able to watch it with crisp clear on both consoles. So let me know down in the comments what you guys thought about these stats. Like I said in the beginning of the video, what is your guys' team? Team Xbox, Team PlayStation? What do you guys prefer? Let me know down in the comments what you guys are on for the team. Make sure you guys send your video or send your gamer tags down below, because I'd surely love to play with you guys if you guys play these games. I love playing with fans. I love playing with viewers and stuff like that. So why not? It's free. We got tons of time with the coronavirus. And speaking of the coronavirus, I just want to take a couple seconds of your guys' time, and please make sure that you guys are spending time with your family. Make sure you guys are spending time healthy with your family, being cleanliness, being clean, being healthy, and stuff like that. I really hope that you guys are doing well. The world is definitely in chaos right now, and it's definitely scary. Hopefully you guys you're well, you're healthy, you're safe, you're loved. Hoping that is there for you guys. Zwolki's here for you, so you guys, like I say on every single channel, make sure you guys talk to me on Facebook. Make sure you guys talk to me on Twitter, Instagram. I'm always here for you guys. I pretty much look at all my comments. Pretty much I've looked at every single comment. I comment on your guys' stuff. Zwolki's here for you. So make sure, like I say, be safe out there. So guys, that is the end of the video. Hopefully you guys liked this video. Let me know also down in the comments what you guys are expecting to see for... Oh, also, before I go off, we don't know necessarily about the PlayStation 5 look yet. We know what Xbox One looks like, but we have pretty much a designated idea when the Xbox is coming out, which is going to be Thanksgiving 2020. Hopefully we're still not in complete chaos with this virus, but hopefully that will be released on that date, because a lot of things are getting pushed away, movies, games, and so forth like that. So hopefully we're not going to have any change. Also, price pointing, before I get off, I should have said this before. The pricing that we're looking at, or the rumors that are going around, is Xbox is looking at a possible $400 to $500 with PlayStation right next to it. So I wouldn't say that these systems are not going to be going over 500. I could see 550, but $400 to $550 is a reasonable price for these systems. I mean, PlayStation, when they first came out with PlayStation 3, was super expensive. It was like $600 to $900. But without further ado, guys, those are going to be the prices. And the release date for Xbox, we don't know nothing much about PlayStation 5 quite yet when it comes to visual aesthetics and possible release date, or we don't really necessarily know pricing. It's just pretty much rumors. But like I say, make sure you guys subscribe to the Zwolki channel. Make sure you guys go over to my Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. Make sure you guys follow, like, and also on those those websites. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Keep it real, keep it safe. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.